Scott.
I'm Dre.
And I'm Luke. And we have a very important episode today.
Most important.
The most important one since the last one we did.
The last one we did 2 years ago.
Listen.
The most.
Listen. There was 2020. It was easy to get distracted by things. 2021, it's easier to get distracted by things.
2020 was definitely just a year of distractions.
Yeah.
So I think we're fine.
That's why we even started this. Wonder Woman.
A new year, new podcast. Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, 84 of them.
The
I missed 283 though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that they were not so good.
Yeah.
2 through 83.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, neither is this one.
It's funny you should mention. I like that movie.
I also liked it.
I thought it was
why don't you tell me what's wrong with it, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
It's just so I really had no idea what was going on in the entire movie. I'll be completely honest. Like there's like 80s stuff going on, sort of. Then some magic stone. Then they just wind up in Egypt, and just kind of then Cold War happens, and it just kind of ends.
I won't say that that's not like a completely accurate description of the movie's plot. I think this movie is so weird. People hate it or love it, and I find myself kind of just like in the middle, like passively liking it. There's lots of stuff like wrong with it, but I felt like it was like a really like refreshing like superhero movie. Yeah, I said this a lot the week it came out, but to me it felt a lot like a Christopher Reeve Superman movie, like one of the good ones where it was like it's not like super, like the plot doesn't matter like super like a ton. It's mostly just kind of like, wow, look, here's a superhero. Isn't that cool and special? And it's like, well, at this point, it's not. But I still I kind of just dug like the more like relaxed tone most of the movie like took.
See, like
you
go on.
It had a very like, yeah, I think laid back is did you just say that? I don't know. Laid back is is the term I would use. Where it's not like, obviously it's a very high stakes movie, but it's never like overwhelmingly funny or overwhelmingly like serious. It's just sort of like, here's a funny little thing that happened to Diana one time.
Yeah, and I dug that it was a movie that seemed to care a lot more about like what a superhero what Wonder Woman means, as opposed to like what Wonder Woman does, which is like think like the strength of both Wonder Woman movies. Like Wonder Woman's like supposed to be someone who helps the people around her, and she has like these set of morals, and we're going to try and explore these morals, and we won't talk about the incredibly morally dubious things she's doing throughout the entire movie.
That's a good that's a good point. And I actually I don't think I totally picked up on that until just this moment, but the whole Cheetah like story arc, which isn't totally I don't think it's super well handled, but like the concept of like, I wish I was like Diana.
Cheetah was absolutely
and what does that mean to her?
Cheetah was just absolutely
versus what does that mean to everybody else?
What did Cheetah do?
I don't think Cheetah was pointless, because I think the point of the movie is like it's like a weird like moral, because it's like about like kind of like accepting like reality,
sure,
and not like, and how like you can't just like think like nothing will be perfect, but like that doesn't mean things can't be good. And I think that it's like it's not handled super well through Cheetah, because it kind of just makes it like, oh, she's Electro. Like she's Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Because they don't like the whole thing with like both villains is they're basically ignoring their real life to like aspire to like this like unattainable dream. And like with Max Lord, they kind of show that he has like another life that he's ignoring. But with Cheetah, they don't. She's just kind of a loser.
I just didn't really get like a sense of progression with Cheetah, honestly. Like at first, she just this dorky girl who just pretty much admires Diana. Then I don't know. I shouldn't really feel her turning evil was all that earned. All she did was just beat up that drunk guy. And I just didn't really catch her doing anything totally evil until she's just like, oh, I'm evil. I'm here, by the way. I'm evil now.
I feel like a lot of what changes in her life after she's like, I wish I was like Diana. Like she gets strong or whatever, but that's not really like the part that she can enjoy. And I feel like, I think it would be good if the movie noted like, listen, if you want to be different, you can be. You don't have to be the way you're being. If you would prefer to be a different way, like she has a different personality with her coworkers and her friends. And it's like, I don't think that's something that needs to be wished for. You know what I mean? Like the strength, obviously, but that obviously
only I could be like Diana and
that's not
press
something
a
she
truck.
really wanted.
That's the thing, because
Yeah.
her wish is to be like Diana, but why does she turn into a cheetah?
The thing is, she wishes to be like
Apex. Yeah,
because she saw the cheetah.
She wants to be an apex predator because she wants to be Cheetah from the comic book Wonder Woman. I think what they're trying to do is like make Cheetah more sympathetic, because that's like been a thing that's become more and more prevalent in the comics, as like especially since like DC Rebirth in 2016. But they didn't like Cheetah's backstory in that like kind of requires her to be a big focus in that movie, and she is definitely playing like the Darth Vader role. Or not even, because Darth Vader is the main villain of Star Wars. She's the Tarkin to Maxwell Lord's Darth Vader. And
okay.
No, you go.
Maybe I'm talking. Oh, go ahead. Maybe I'm talking out my butt here, but I feel like it maybe would be more interesting if Cheetah's role in the plot was closer to Wonder Woman's, in the sense that where it's like Wonder Woman's main conflict is like, can I give up Steve Trevor? And I think it might be interesting if Cheetah had like somebody where it's not just like I want to be strong. I don't want to give up being epic and based. But like maybe I don't want to give up a son or something who I lost. And then Wonder Woman had more of I guess I don't know what do you have
Steve Trevor. You just don't have her be creepy in another dude's body. That's so weird.
And then flirting with that guy later.
Can we talk about the
moral? So Diana definitely wishes to have Steve Trevor back, and then for no reason, he comes back in the form of another dude.
Just a random guy. They basically just take over his body.
Like, fine. Me too. I thought it was.
I was confused about it at first. Because I was like, I'm looking at Steve Trevor, and they're talking about how it's like not Steve Trevor's body, and I'm like, that's him. What do you mean? That's not. That's Chris Pine. And then he looks in the mirror, and it's like,
they just have
you're
sex.
That guy.
And it's like, well, I don't.
Well, I feel like there's more to it than just like her having sex with Steve Rogers. Like
Steve Rogers.
It's just like
definitely should have sex with Steve
Rogers.
Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor, not Steve Rogers.
Yeah,
different Steve. Because they're just constantly putting this guy just in danger throughout the entire movie. So he's.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's dead.
Well, I mean, Steve Trevor is, but not this guy. They still have his body.
Well, what I'm saying is like, if Steve Trevor, okay, it's basically like they killed that guy to get Steve.
Yeah,
Trevor.
I don't know. It's not that much better.
Right, it's not.
And so, and then like, then they do all these like they steal a jet. They break into government buildings. Oh. It's like they have this guy's face, right? And then at the end of the movie, he shows back up, and everything's just fine. Like they have his face.
it's like
I
weird
think
because
it's
it's like
fine.
all the other wishes just come out of no, like dude, that dude wishes for this big wall to be erected, and that wall just is there. So if Diana wishes,
Yeah, the wall just rose up from the ground. So why couldn't Steve Trevor just like show up Endgame
or you know
style?
what,
Just he
do a
just kind
thing
of
that
shows up.
crawls out from his decomposing corpse in Germany.
Like
I don't know.
his
It's like
ashes just like
it's
come
weird.
back together.
It's like weird,
Yeah, he
and
died
it's
in
like
an
it
explosion,
seems like
right?
a really weird thing to just like forget about in your like script. It's just I don't.
Well, I mean that's the thing because average audience members at home will just see, oh, it's Chris Pine.
But,
I'm happy to see him again.
but I
So
feel
then you didn't really think about all the
like
moral
I feel like
implications of
everyone's
that whole
talked about
plot.
this like weird creepy thing, and
It's like
it's I think it's just like plain a mistake. Like
Right, yeah.
it serves no purpose, and it makes Wonder Woman seem very unlikable because she just doesn't care that she's killed this other dude.
think about that.
Like if it wasn't, if you take that out of it, I actually think the whole Steve Trevor stuff works pretty like well.
Yeah, she just this whole movie she just feels really selfish.
I have slight issue with the Steve Trevor stuff. Maybe this is just my own like. I'm sort of whatever on Steve Trevor as a character. He's funny. But like her arc in Justice League is like, okay, I need to. Well, her arc is in air quotes. I need to get over Steve Trevor, and then her arc in this movie is also I need to get over Steve Trevor. But like this already happened. I don't know. I guess to me it feels a little like Justice League.
She really doesn't get over Steve for like 50 years.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like Batman's like it's been a century and you're still not over this guy. But then the plot of 84 is her, I mean, not getting over it, but like recognizing that it's okay and time to move on. But then by Justice League, she still hasn't moved on.
Well, I think that's just the whole thing is Justice League just didn't happen. Like DC movies going forth, like we're not talking about Justice League. That has Ben Affleck in it, has Henry Cavill in it, and we're just gonna we're just gonna walk around those.
I just don't think anything matters in 84. And nothing happens. Nothing of consequence happens for sure. It just I don't see the point of why it has to exist and what it adds. Because what you were saying about the whole Christopher Reeves thing, yeah, I dig that. I appreciate it, but I don't know if it's like pushing anything forward.
I don't think it is. I don't think this movie is pushing anything forward. But like,
I think it's a romp. I'm gonna say it. It's a romp.
Yeah, so it's a romp. And like the thing with those like those Christopher Reeves like Superman movies, it's just like, well, isn't this a fun Superman adventure? And like nothing like big of consequence happens. Vince, you'll usually come out with like a moral, and to me, it's just like I love superheroes. I love superhero movies, but I'm very much tired of the formula, and I'm like, and I want more like I want more movies with different tones where like it doesn't end with a big, huge like 30-minute fight scene, and like while Wonder Woman does have a fight scene at the end, it's like A, short, and like B isn't like the real climax of the movie. Instead of the climax of the movie, it's like, hey, Wonder Woman saves a person, and by proxy saves humanity. And I like that. I like Maxwell Lord as like a villain. I like his like plan was kind of confusing at first, but I got it by the end.
His plan was funny because I was watching this movie in the living room, and my mom was working like 2 rooms over, and anytime she had a break from work, she'd come over and watch a bit with me, and every time she was like, "What the hell's going on? Like, what's going on with this guy?" And I had to explain, like, listen, well, he is the stone, so now he's a genie, and he can do whatever he
It's
wants.
the sequel to Wishmaster.
Yeah. And she was like, okay. And the nerdy girl lost her glasses, and I said, yeah.
I will say, I think something that's gone unappreciated is I really like all the like action in this movie. Like as someone like, or at least all the like big set pieces in the movie. I dug the car chase. I really like the beginning, like in the mall.
The mall scene was
Um,
great. I mean, I feel the car chase. Oh my god, I'm sorry. The car chase was great because it was like an hour and 40 minutes into the movie,
and
with just like no other action going on. That's why I liked it.
I thought the invisible shit made me pog. Yell and excite.
That was epic. It felt a little to me like it came out of nowhere, but it's like comes out of nowhere because the invisible ship is such an iconic thing.
Well, I think they had like get it in, but it just like the way they do it just feels so awkward. It's just Diana saying, "Oh, by the way, I made something invisible once."
Yeah, I learned
I'm
this
going
from
to do
my
it to
dad.
this jet.
Zeus.
Listen, that's like the extent to like Wonder Woman being a god matters, and like if you ask me, that's good. Don't talk about how Wonder Woman's technically a god. I hate that shit.
We need that Egypt scene is incredible. We need to talk about that for a second.
The car chase, or
Well, the lead into the car chase. They're driving to Egypt, and you think they're gonna have to like find some clues, kind of do some detective work, but no, he just kind of drives past them. He's like, "Oh, there he is." Like
Here we are in Cairo.
the one road in Egypt.
well, they're already on his tail. They're only his.
Yeah, but he just drives past
Yeah.
them.
Thanks for the car. Thanks for
It's like
the
Tom and
man.
That was incredible.
It's like
oh, go ahead.
it's I find it it's definitely like a flawed movie, but I think the like reaction it's gotten is pretty hyperbolic. I think it's kind of like a since there was like something can't just be like 6 stars, you know? It needs to be either very good or very bad. And I just don't feel like
I think
it's like that extreme.
There's a trend with DC movies particularly, and I don't mean this as like a there are no bad DC films, because that's not true. But like there's already a reputation of like DC movies not being very good. So when something happens in a DC movie that people don't really like that much, it's so much easier to say like this movie's garbage, it's terrible, it's awful. When it's like, well, okay, is it?
It's just kind of below average. But if I could catch it on cable, I'll watch it again.
Tell you what, I like it more than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not too big on like war movies.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think that the first one does better is there's like a better crew. There's no crew in 84. And I like crews, and Wonder Woman 1 has a good crew. But then it's like at the end is like, okay, time to fight a bureaucrat who is actually secretly God. It's like, all right, okay, JRPG.
Yeah. Yeah. I was not expecting that. I think this is solidly like I think I have it like just before the movies I think are really bad in the DC universe in terms of my ranking.
Yeah, same here, I believe.
Because
there are definitely stuff I like about it.
I think the cast
it's
does
kind
a
of a
lot for
slog
me.
for the most part.
I think the casting does a lot for me. I was not really expecting Kristen Wiig to do good, and even though I have like we've talked about our gripes with the Cheetah character, I think she acts good.
Kristen Wiig herself is fine.
Yeah, and Pedro Pascal is obviously great, and I love his character so much. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome also that they like DC blew their load on the character that is already Donald Trump in DC universe, so they had to like turn another guy into Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the other Donald Trump?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, Lex Luthor, Mark Zuckerberg, and then
that character, yeah.
I mean, it's like, and you know, it's obviously not subtle, but it's still, I think, funny and meaningful as a critique. I think I saw you say this earlier, that it's like, yeah, maybe don't buy into everything a snake oil salesman tells you, and he won't solve all your problems. Like, yeah, that really is, you know, not a super nuanced message, but also a potent one. I feel, especially considering recent events.
Yes. And I think, I don't know, I like that it seems like a movie with a real, like, it seems like it has heart, and that's something I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
I just didn't really feel what was so 1980s about it.
well, he wears parachute pants, and he has a pump.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's like, yeah, there's sort of a thing where at the start, there's like Steve Trevor, when he comes back, he's like, whoa, the 80s. And then by the end, it's like, oh, actually, the threat of nuclear war made the 80s quite garbage. And every person I've ever met, you know, like my parents, the grown folk, whose opinions I trust, any gay person talking about the 80s, they're like, yeah, that shit fucking sucked.
Yeah, I was quite glad that we're done with the whoa 80s. Dude,
yeah,
there is
now. Awesome.
There is a really weird like 1980s like pandering in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they saw Guardians of the Galaxy made a lot of money, and they were thinking, oh, it made a lot of money because of 80s.
Because we put a Fleetwood Mac song in.
Yeah. And so, Scott, in preparation for this podcast, you went watching a lot of DC extended universe movies, right?
Yeah, so I had not seen, I think I had only seen about half of them when we decided we wanted to talk about Wonder Woman. And I was like, well, I've seen the first Wonder Woman. Actually, I only saw the first Wonder Woman like 2 or 3 weeks ago, by chance. And before then, I'd seen Man of Steel when it came out, so a trend 10,000 years ago. I'd seen Batman vs Superman, and I'd seen like Shazam, and I'd seen Birds of Prey, I think. So I was like, okay, well, I need to watch Justice League because that's like the movie. So I watched Justice League. By the way, I like Justice League. And then I watched Suicide Squad. I don't like Suicide Squad. I didn't even mean to watch Suicide Squad. I only wanted to watch Justice League.
You accidentally put it on?
Well, I was just like sitting at my desk, looking at my computer screen, saw an HBO Max tab open from when I watched Justice League, and I was like, well, we're in a world.
We're in the universe.
So I watched it. And for the record, okay, I don't think Justice League is like earth-shatteringly fucking excellent, but I was thoroughly entertained.
I love Justice League. I'll tell you what.
It's your favorite?
I get a kick out of that movie every time I see it.
All right. So, I think okay, because I feel kind of similar about Suicide Squad. I don't hate Suicide Squad. I don't think it's very good, but I put it on and it's like, it's a can't turn my brain on movie, you know?
You can't pay attention.
Like I see like people like they're just, and I don't really know why I find that movie like so watchable, because it like isn't. But like I find it's like a really fast as like dingy time where I get to see Harley Quinn hit stuff with a bat and Will Smith say stuff that isn't cool, and listen to some good music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like that to like like I'll watch Suicide Squad. And I adore Batman versus Superman for all the wrong reasons. I watch that. I fucking love watching that movie. Justice League was the one where I was the DCEU movie or EU.
DCEU.
Okay,
The DC Extended Universe.
where I was thoroughly like unentertained and upset watching.
I cannot imagine. I was having such a fun time watching just this Frankenstein's monster of a movie being put together before my eyes.
Well, can we? I guess should we go in an order of the DC movie?
Let's just go in fucking order.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to talk about Justice League without first talking about the other two that preceded it, the three that preceded
Man
it.
of Steel.
Jesus on Earth, he's
Man of
real
Steel.
and he's an alien.
He is.
What do we think about that movie?
Full disclosure, it's been a long time since I've seen it. As I said, I've not seen it since it came out, which I was like in middle school or something still.
Right.
However, I remember liking it at the time. One issue, I definitely like this, and this is the funny. I remember coming out of it, and I saw it with my family. We were all like, he kind of trashed Metropolis, huh? That's like a vivid memory.
That's not a unique.
No, come on, man.
I watched Man of Steel a few months ago. I remember liking it. I liking it a lot. Have not thought about it a day since.
Man of Steel. I have also not seen it in a long fucking time, and it's like a movie that constantly sits in my like memory because it was a movie that I like 2013. Dre was he wanted a new Superman movie to like so much, and I sat there and I tried like watching it, and I convinced myself that it was fantastic the first time I saw it. Then I saw it the second time, and I was like, I'm not sure. And then I remember I saw it the third time that year, and I was like, this. And like at that point, it all hit me, and I was like, I don't like this movie. it to me, because like it's just to me, it feels it's such a Superman movie that doesn't like Superman, and doesn't like and doesn't really like want to say anything other than wouldn't it be fucked up if. And I don't know. It's like it feels.
I've never really understood that complaint though. What about it makes you think it's like it hates Superman?
It feels like it doesn't want to spend any time like talking about how like what Superman means, like his whole story as like an immigrant, his whole like I mean like Superman's whole point, like the whole point of Superman is like positivity in the face of adversity, and the movie spends no real time. There's no joy in the movie, and every like father figure, every like authority figure in that movie is like bitter and cynical, and like joyless. And you would think like maybe Clark will be like the joy, and he's not. He's just like a miserable dude who needs to be like dragged by the ear to do anything heroic.
Dre, it stands for hope.
Oh, so damn shit. It doesn't.
I guess I've seen so many just joyous, eccentric like Marvel movies that by the time I watched Man of Steel and it was just really dark and really serious, I would just nice.
Refreshingly,
Finally, like something I can actually kind of take.
Refreshingly, like not a romp.
Well,
and I enjoyed that.
I just don't find there's no character there. He's just like all he is like miserable and doesn't want to do anything, and he doesn't really like his arc is being like bullied into being a superhero. I don't believe that he cares about people. He doesn't like find any like human connection. And
well, I know BVS kind of touches upon that as well, because it gets to a point where he's thinking, am I doing this like because I want to, or is it like just the right thing to do?
And but like even that like that doesn't mean like I don't think that's not a compelling arc or there's no compelling arc for Clark in that movie, and it removes a bunch of stuff about Superman that I like to try and turn it into something that Superman isn't, and that change doesn't really lead to anything. It's not.
I will agree. His personality is just a chalkboard.
He's a brick, and it's like, if you want to do something new with Superman, fine. Guess what? What you're doing isn't new. I'm like, as somebody, like every other Superman graphic novel you will find is about this. What if Superman's evil? What if Superman's sad? What if Superman doesn't want to be Superman? And it's like, and this is one of the worst versions of that. Like, if you want like being tired of like Marvel movie quirky, that's fine. I am so tired of Superman frowny face.
I definitely feel that Warner Brothers can like exclusively write evil Superman at this point.
Yeah.
Like, we got all the comics, we got the Injustice League games, and it's not DC, but we got Brightburn, but we know where those inspirations come from. So it's just
look at half of DC.
There's just nothing unique about
Look
it.
at half of DC's animated movies. Or if they're about Superman, they're about Superman being mean and upset, or being a communist, or something. Like, it's all, and it's like, fuck. Why this interpretation again? And you know what we can do to make this even better? Add the other miserable Superman and have them punch each other.
I just feel, because Superman, since day one, I feel, has been just the superhero. He's the most basic superhero I think you can get. And so it's just Warner Bros. Scrambling to see what they can possibly do with this character.
And it's like, just do him.
Yeah, I think
There's a reason the character lasted.
I think they're
80
trying to like
years.
preemptively combat that
All the
like,
animated movies as well.
criticism of like, oh, it's just like he's just a boring superhero. He's like the most generic, whatever. He's really strong. He fights bad men. Boring. So like they're trying to like preempt it by like, well, actually, he's complicated and nuanced. But it's like, well, yeah, but so is the character in the comics. It's just like there's a public perception of Superman as like flawless and not really being about Clark Kent, but being about Superman being epic. But I don't think that's really representative. Like, that's not actually what Superman is.
Most people who don't like Superman haven't interacted
Most
with
people who don't like
anything
Krabby
other
Patties
than
have
Man
never
of
tried
Steel,
one.
I find.
Right.
And they're just like, he's exactly. Superman's the Krabby Patty of superheroes. You think you know it. You think it's fine, it's boring, whatever. It's just another bird. No, it's a Krabby Patty. It was flipped by SpongeBob SquarePants, and it'll go right to your thighs.
The thighs
make you a fit.
That's what they should have called the film.
What do you guys think about Man of Steel's sequel, Batman versus Superman?
Versus Superman?
Here's my
I
didn't like that movie very much.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of boring. I thought that was a boring film. That's it, really. Let's hear it. What?
Here we go.
I I first saw that movie in 2016, like many of us did. With my mother, who's most experienced with Batman and Superman, was actually Super Friends, and that was
that was her only exposure to DC.
like, mostly. I think she had seen like Batman Begins.
That's awesome.
That was one of the best theater experiences of my life. My mom asked so many questions. Nick, you won't believe the face she made when I explained to her that, yeah, that's Aquaman. she was like, wait, she
He's
didn't
definitely
realize that
not.
Lex Luthor was Lex Luthor until like an hour into the movie. She was like, she asked me, I thought Batman didn't kill people. And I was like, he doesn't. it was one of the biggest, like, I don't know what to say shrugs. Batman vs Superman is a hilarious, terrible movie. I don't like this film. But I love it. I hate this film, but I love it. I think it was something that used to really upset me, but now it's just funny. I think it's a like my favorite funny Batman.
It's a movie I can call as being just egregious and just kind of just what's the fucking word I had? Just kind of it's very dull at points. That nothing really happens. Hardly anything matters. But I can say all that while saying that I still pretty much like the movie on like an ironic point. Because there are definitely just elements I very much like. I love the mythology of just this man versus God. Like I know Superman, God metaphor gets memed on a lot, but I feel like it just added like a lot of stuff to the themes of the movie. And I just really like the build up of just having these two
my
titans
biggest
just fight off.
qualm in terms
by
of
the
like
end.
that is, and I'm going to compare it to Civil War because I feel like that's sort of just the easiest comparison. In Civil War, there's a real like ideological conflict that like it's like I can understand both sides. I don't agree. Like there's a side that I think is like the side that I agree with, but I still understand where the other side is coming from. And when Batman versus Superman, I don't really understand where either of them are coming from. They both just kind of seem like they're being assholes for no reason. Superman gets mad at Batman for fighting crime, and Batman gets mad at Superman for like existing. And
Batman is angry at Superman for thinking he could be a threat to humanity. Superman hates Batman
right, like
for
Superman
thinking he's above the
I
law.
don't really
even though
understand the
Superman
difference
himself is
between
pretty much acting above the law.
Superman and Batman in Superman's eyes.
Superman in Man of Steel, there's literally like the best joke in the movie is when he's interrogated by the government and then casually stands up and without realizing it breaks the handcuffs they put on him. And then at the end,
That was awesome.
And then at the end, he throws a satellite down to the ground for having the audacity to even look at me. But Perry, why aren't we covering this Bat Vigilante? No, I'm not going to write about football. I'm not. And
I mean, like Civil War to me feels like a South Park episode. Meanwhile, BBS I think actually has like.
I guess I'm not sure what the point is. I'm also intrigued.
I'm so intrigued.
Like, because I mean, Batman and Superman together, at the very least, just kind of find equal footing. Like the Martha scene's not great, but they kind of just find equal footing. and just kind of together, they can just kind of do some dumb superhero shit. And I just kind of like that. Other than like when Civil War was just, well, both are right in their own ways.
I don't think Civil War does say that, but I think that I guess
The general vibe I definitely got.
Because at the end it's like Iron Man does like assume his like position as like the villain, and it's like the whole at the like by the end the movie categorically agrees with Steve.
Yeah.
Wait, this isn't a MCU movie.
Yeah. I generally.
Well, the Civil War discussion was going to be the comparisons. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like
there we go.
I don't think, like, to me, that like the movie like had like comes up with kind of flawed reasons for Batman and Superman to not like each other, and then it just doesn't resolve them. There's no the only like the whole Martha thing is like is really the end of their like dislike for each other, and it
is weird, yeah.
And it's like I get that the whole thing is like Batman's supposed to realize that Superman's a human, and they have similar backgrounds, but like is that really like it? Did you like?
I think just the delivery of that scene alone just kind of makes into a joke, which is understandable.
It leads into a joke, and it doesn't. It thinks it concludes an arc, but it doesn't, because like Batman. Because now I'm supposed to think like Batman didn't think that Superman had any life outside of being Superman. He didn't think he had any family, and also, hey Superman, why are you still working with like you came to Batman for help, saving your mom, and he's a lunatic who won't listen to a word you say, and have like this big operatic like death trap planned for you.
that trap rules.
But we immediately like cut away from it to show Batman to have like an arc.
I think it's a good idea too, to be honest, of having this story of like,
and then
because this Batman is he's not like young spry Batman. He's like been around the block Batman, and I think having sort of like older character doesn't like immigrant character, thinks he's a threat until recognizing his humanity is like there's something there. And it's just not like it's not quite hit upon. I almost feel like the fact that Superman doesn't like Batman shouldn't even be part of the plot. I feel like that should be a one-sided conflict. Maybe that would not be conducive.
That's like usually like how it is in any time instance they have fought each other. It's usually, I mean, okay, because the big thing with the movie is that it's a mashup of The Dark Knight Returns, which is about an older Batman and about older Batman like coming out of retirement, and features like the most iconic fight between the two. The Death of Superman, which is a bad comic about Superman and Doomsday punching each other for around 84 fucking issues, or however much it feels, until eventually Superman dies and you pay $8. Exactly, you literally did it, and like just like a bunch of smattering of like old Bronze Age like Batman, and it's like, and the most of the movie is like kind of like spackled together to make sure that fan service is in there. Like, so you can get the big metal bat suit. You can get Superman being like a corpse in space. You can have them punching each other. You can get fucking Doomsday.
Yeah, let's hard pivot to the villains in this movie.
Can we hard pivot to the villains in this movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
So There's like 3 named like villains in this movie. Well, 2 really. There's one that bothers me, but also like who cares? They just put KG Beast in this movie and then kill him for no reason. He's just like some dude with a flamethrower, or that Batman fucking kills. Just no reason. But that doesn't matter because, like, really, when
Well, I mean, there was a reason though.
Why
There
was
was a reason though. He was going to kill Martha super bad.
Why does that need to be KG Beast? Like,
What do you mean?
Why? Like, why
Jimmy
kill
Olsen.
like this dude who has like no line? Oh yeah, that's KG Beast. Can't use KG Beast anymore. They do shoot Jimmy Olsen in the face in the beginning of this movie.
This Superman
no
doesn't
reason.
have
That was
best
That was
pals.
awesome.
Definitely an I hate Superman moment. He doesn't have best pals. It's just fuck you. We don't want this character, and no one can use him. But
that whole warehouse scene, just saving Martha, was obviously Batman's rise to redemption of saving his mother, who was also named Martha. So that was his way of just saving her. That was his personal stake in the fight.
But he acts the same as he
himself, and so of course, like when this guy was about to burn her, he was fully aware that he was going to kill her. So he pretty much just had no reason to just kill him.
Okay.
No other reason.
But here's the thing. That's not a change in his character. Batman beating up a bunch of people and like killing them isn't different from how he acts in the rest of the movie. So if that's like his like chance of redemption, like then you should have done maybe the difference here is he doesn't kill people.
Well,
he doesn't
Dre, what you're
have
getting
to
at is like,
brutally
why
murder
is this
people
KG
to get the
Beast
job
and not
done.
just some random goon? Right?
'Cause,
That's
like-
what you're trying to say. Like, why does it have to be a character that exists instead of just being some random?
Exactly. Yeah, but that's not like my biggest issues with any other villains in this movie. Because like Lex Luthor is one of my favorite characters ever. He's
so cherry flavored.
Not
good.
No, he's not good at all. He's one of
like what were they going for with that character? What were they going for with that character?
He was Mark Zuckerberg. It was a Mark Zuckerberg thing. Like we want to parody Mark Zuckerberg in the weakest, lamest, dumbest way possible. And I'm just Lex Luthor in this movie is in like the modern age of superhero movies, the worst villain out of like the entire bunch of them.
He's pretty damn low.
He's not intimidating. He doesn't come off like smart. He's all his like rambling about his motivations is just like, I want to be Heath Ledger, but I'm not. But I refuse to write anything interesting. He's just the worst. Also, the hair. The hair just sucks.
I didn't really get Heath Ledger vibe. I got more of a Batman, like Batman Forever Riddler vibe.
Like I think he.
I got
like
like
the big like
I got a
his like big villain
monologues.
definitely
vibe. I think
came to me.
His monologues are very just very.
He's really just like I'm enlightened.
That's a 3-syllable word for what was the line? That's a 3-syllable word for a concept that's too big for my little mind. And then he pokes Lois Lane on the head.
Just remembered that Lois Lane is in this movie.
That's one of the things he does. He shoves a Jolly Rancher in a dude's mouth. He picks. Yeah, I think I'm doing better than the director.
I would say definitively so.
He has like they add like this obsession with gods, which I guess like go off, try and do something with your theme, but it's not done anything. It's just like, I'm an atheist. My dad hit me. so why didn't God save me? And it's like, okay, well, all right, give me something more than like literally a short story that I peer reviewed in my second year
I think
of
it's
college.
especially funny when we
Like,
consider that the
that
next
was
movie that
something
they
I
put
read.
out is like, yeah, God's too
It's
exist
like-
in this universe.
But man,
They just don't
God.
like you, Lex.
Yeah,
Doomsday fuck.
Doomsday, fuck, Doom, like
Like,
there.
he just like, hey, it's Doomsday.
It's a weird
let's
thing
kill
to want
Superman
to rush to
in our
do
second movie
when
with
it's
him.
sort of like Superman dies.
He's
Is not
just
like that's
just a
not
big-
what I would imagine
like,
to be an essential
just a big gray
Superman
monster.
story. In the way that like your second Batman movie having the Joker in it. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. That's like an iconic conflict. But like Superman dies? I don't know. Has Superman even lived in these movies yet?
No, like Superman's not a character in this movie either. So when they kill
Everybody
him, like,
hates
who fucking
him. And
cares?
he has a
He's not.
girlfriend.
He doesn't. He has a girlfriend. He has a mom. That's all his connection to the world. Nobody likes him. Some dude, they make like a statue of him for some reason, even though nobody in the film likes him. And then some dude spray paints it, and he goes, "False God," and it's like Superman's death only meant something in the comics because like it was Superman, and at that point he was an icon. But Superman's just like some dude that nobody wants.
And then in
have
Justice
around,
League,
but
we
then
get
we
to
kill
talk
him.
about how everybody misses him,
By this
and
big-
the world has forever.
By this
worsened.
big like Lord of the
And
Rings
there's homeless
ogre
people
that has a
now
laser
because
for
Superman
a
is
face.
dead. I tried.
I tried.
I tried.
Oh,
I
don't know,
did
man.
watch it for the first time.
I don't
and
like
only
this
time
film.
with you, Dre. And
But
I will say it was a very fun
But
film.
you guys
to
want
watch with
to
you.
watch it later?
I'd be down. I'd be down to watch Best.
Am I too early?
I'm
too early.
I'll watch it. I will keep watching this movie until. Look, man. I want. Oh my god! I completely forgot that the Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, or all in this movie. They also wanted to put Nightwing in. I
What?
forgot they were all in that movie. They wanted to put Nightwing in this movie. Nightwing and Batgirl.
Well, I mean, it's not like they play like a huge integral role in the movie anyway.
You're right. They don't play any role in the movie.
I think
Except
Batman
for
vs
Wonder
Superman
Woman,
might be
who
like
just shows
an
up.
episode from season
Wonder Woman
5
just
of Lost.
is around to give Bruce
Where
Wayne
they
some
just, like,
things to do.
They just start adding
So-
shit and talking about shit. Here's a dream sequence. God's not real. It's just like, all right, we both know
What?
this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, and it's man. There's the whole man. That desert Batman scene I didn't like when I saw it. It's hilarious now that Justice League Part 2 is never.
There's a Green
happening.
Lantern
Are you
on
talking
there.
about like the nightmare scene?
Yes.
That part's awesome. What are you talking about?
What's awesome about it? I'm gonna need an explanation.
Okay, I think the actual look of like Batman is awesome. I think he looks really cool. And that shot, that shot of the camera's kind of panning around and like he's getting caught. You see all that chaos in the background. I love that a lot. I thought it was a really visually nice scene.
Batman in a jacket.
Yes, you're right. It does a mask on though. That's what's awesome.
He looks like a big dork. It's just time. It's just liquid time pouring out of the cup of my life.
How do you know what I'm not supposed to
Doing
see?
nothing. And then the Flash goes, "Oh no, you weren't supposed to see that yet. Fuck you."
Well,
Then
that's not
why did
bad.
I see it?
He's too quick for Johnny Law.
Ezra Miller, go to jail already. Shit.
Yeah.
You fucking bastard. What was man? And
I think the actual warehouse scene in St. Martha was pretty cool though.
it's choreographed nicely.
Yeah.
There's like
As any good action scene, I feel could be or should be.
I just don't think it's narratively
I just
good.
enjoy
But
the personal stake in that scene as well, of just him saving, metaphorically, his own mother.
Well, I think BVS. I think the reason we spent so much time in BVS is because like the reason we put so much time on BVS is like
Yeah.
this movie kind of changed everything because it was supposed to be like a big. Like this was supposed to be Warner Brothers. Like we're getting $1 billion opening weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it really didn't, and it was not reviewed well. And the big takeaway was not like we want movies that people like. It's it's not Marvel enough, and a lot, and you can tell because like Suicide Squad, which had like a real like its early trailers were like really dark, not really dark, but like we're going for like this dark, like Dirty Dozen, kind of like keeping on the same tone of Man of Steel and BVS. But then after BVS got its like horrible reception, then they made a Guardians of the Galaxy trailer with Bohemian Rhapsody. And everybody lost their mind and thought that was the best shit ever.
I was probably one of those people.
And then they start to heavily re-edit the movie, which is a part of the reason why Suicide Squad
I watched it like
is David
5
Ayer's
hours
Suicide
ago.
Squad 2016.
Man, it's
What do you guys think of that movie?
so...
So
I think
you
it's
said you
funny
just
that
watched
you earlier said that that's like a turn off your brain movie and just like whatever, it's just quick mindless nonsense.
Was it awesome?
I was just like, God, I know who Harley Quinn is. Please stop telling me, please, for the love of God. I'll tell you what, I don't really know much about Deadshot. I get it, I got it. He shoots good. He got a daughter where he shoots good and thinks about his daughter. Man.
Well,
Harley and Deadshot get so much just backstory.
Yeah.
well, Ezra Miller is all over these fucking movies, by the way.
Isn't like I don't think the focus on Harley and
He's in is like
Deadshot
evil.
is even a bad.
He
If it was
sucks.
presented,
And he's just
they didn't pretend that the other thing, but they don't like make. He's like, I think off the bat, the character I was interested in because he's like, I don't want to. Like, it's not all the other ones don't want to do it because we're bad at that. Yeah, I like that. And then it's like, okay, here's his tragic backstory, and okay, I guess he's gonna fight anyway, and it's no, they do, they do like the where are they now at the end.
What's morally
nothing for him. He gets nothing.
He dies. Not even a thing. Not even a thing, Not funeral.
There's a
the
scene
gimmick of it is that you can
where
kill people
towards the end, where
superheroes or not just superheroes, and they don't matter, so we can just
they're like,
have them do cool shit. They'll be cool for like the 4 panels where we need them to be cool, and then they're dead in the 5th one.
Naka, were you, Scott? I mean, a little surprised by how unjacked Killer Croc was.
he looks like. Do you remember those dog toys that were like all head?
He wasn't CGI. He wasn't CGI.
It was all makeup, though.
But then, do you like his little weird crawl into the water? he does like a little crawl. Edited to be funnier and like to be like more like if they try and reverse engineer into a Marvel movie, and it's just so not. There's all these like weird jokes that just don't land anywhere, and then it's the cast doesn't matter. There's so much, like if you go through the trailers, there's like whole set pieces that aren't in the movie, and also there's a whole character that's not in that movie, and that's Joker. It's Jared Leto, and he won't stop crying about how he wasn't in this movie enough. He's in a part of
He really was in that movie
of
too
Harley's
much.
little backstory, which
He actually doesn't
God help
do
me, I
fucking anything.
kind of like that scene.
I'm sorry, which scene?
When they're in the club, and like you see Harley and Joker and they're together.
I thought that was a really good scene.
It's kind of neat. Then Harley gets into, and they get into their purple Lamborghini. Batman shows up.
Batman's like, let's double date. And he's like, that's not very funny. I've not seen that many Jokers, but I don't think you need to see really very many to say that he is not number one. I like when you see him in his room and he's surrounded by knives and guns and he ha 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 is written all over the wall.
I somewhat like that scene, but I think the fact that it's Joker kind of ruins it for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He goes.
It sounds like the Penguin. He's doing a penguin laugh.
It would be good if that was a good Joker.
When I actually like jumped out of my seat when they're doing the like Harley Quinn backstory, and Amanda Waller is like, she was fearless and crazier than him. I couldn't fucking believe that was actually a quote from this movie. I had thought all this time
quote in the movie
that it was like some Tumblr thing that somebody made up in like 2013 to be like oh this is how what love is like. And it's like, no, actually that's just what they wrote about the Joker and Harley Quinn.
I guess I'll have to watch it again, try to catch that.
She was fearless and crazy. I like Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller is good. I like her. I think, yeah, Amanda Waller is just like there to screw over everybody, and in this movie, it feels so pointless.
Well, she's just like, we need a team in case Superman is evil, and then it's like, what do they have them doing? Extracting a person of interest from a building. Nowhere near the Superman shit. Okay, cool. Glad we have Team X together.
Enchantress is sort of a god, even though she also has no presence.
I mean, certainly above my pay grade. Yeah.
We're talking about great cinematic villains.
Yeah. I like Enchantress. I think she's cool.
I don't mind Enchantress at all. She is hot. She's evil. She does like, I don't care about her brother and his weirdly like human face.
I don't care about her brother either, but I feel like the movie also doesn't really care about her brother.
No, I don't care about her and Rick Flag. In fact, there's actually nothing interesting about Rick Flag.
I think Rick Flag was the absolute worst.
Is his name Rick?
In the whole movie.
I thought his name was Nick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a movie that I think was hacked, like ruined by editing, and also I think it was a movie that wasn't going to be good if it was edited properly.
Yeah.
I didn't hate him. I thought I liked Captain Boomerang much less than.
Damn, Captain Boomerang is my favorite.
Why?
At least like he didn't try to develop his character. He was just kind of an asshole, and I kind of like that.
I guess I just thought
they didn't try to do anything compelling with him. He was just sort of an asshole. Yeah, I liked it.
I think I don't know. I guess it's fair to say I thought a lot of characters in the movie were annoying. I thought Harley Quinn was very annoying.
Oh, they're all annoying. Yeah, absolutely.
I like Deadshot. I didn't think he was terrible. I mean, I just complained about him. But it was mostly just the way that they set him up, like 6 times.
I think Deadshot as a character is cool, but Will Smith portraying him is void of charm.
The problem with Will
Smith, whereas Will Smith always does that.
The problem with Will Smith is that he's Will Smith, and you can't see a Will Smith role and not think, "Hey, that's Will Smith."
Oh, it's so wholesome.
It's really hard, and every time he tries to like, no, here's my serious acting job. It's just
Will
no,
Smith, I tell
you're
you, when I
typecast.
see your face, I am thinking about the song you wrote about kidnapping a 12-year-old girl and going to McDonald's. That's what I'm thinking about when I see you.
What are you talking about?
What?
Parents just don't understand. That's the
Yeah.
name of the song.
That's true.
Okay, he steals his mom's car. He picks up a girl he thought was cute. And it turns out she was a 12-year-old runaway.
What?
But they
What?
go, they go to McDonald's. It's awesome.
Good for him.
It's awesome.
That's
That's the second verse. The first verse is about
crazy.
how his mom bought him stupid back to school clothes.
Good for him.
Reversible slacks.
Do we want to jump to Justice League, or do we want
Let's
to
do
do
Wonder Woman.
I think
or do we want to wrap up?
Yeah.
let's do Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman. Hey.
Hey, Wonder Woman. World War I movie.
That movie. Wonder Woman was such a it was just like awesome for me to like finally see it, because I'm Wonder Woman was one of my favorite like comic book characters, and as a Wonder Woman fan, you get fucked 100% of the time. There is no Wonder. The only like stuff we get for Wonder Woman outside of comics is a 70s TV show, a canceled TV show, and that's it. She gets to appear in other people's movies sometimes. No game, no movie up until now. Or until
The absence of a
2017.
Wonder Woman video game is really like heinous.
It is. It is. Yeah, I was very like skeptical when it was like, oh, World War One. Okay, so we're Captain America in this. But I actually like it, and it feels, because in terms of like period piece superhero movies are not like something you get very often. And I dug it. Out of like the two we have, I like this one. I think the No Man's Land fight scene is one of the best like superhero action scenes. I'll go back and rewatch it every once in a while. I think No Man's Land is awesome. I think like I like what you said earlier. I like the crew. And actually, I found Chris Pine likable, which is insane because I never find him likable.
Yeah, I agree. The No Man's Land
No Man's Land scene is pretty awesome.
Really special. It's cool. It's a very good like. I think there's a lot of superhero origin stories where the superhero is like superhuman, where it's like I have to discover my own powers. But I like that scene is sort of like she already knows what she's capable of. And it's just like she's just got to prove to these other people who think she's just some dumb person who thinks she's epic that she's like actually is in fact epic. She's like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go over there. And they're like, wait. And it's cool.
And she gets someone like inspire, and she gets to inspire everyone. Like it's not just her who like wins that. So like, I think like the teamwork in that movie is like awesome. So, and I like, to me, I'm so sick of superheroes just fighting another superpowered being. Like it's fun, right? But when that's all you get, it's exhausting. And when I get to see like scenes where like people like heroes are saving people, or like trying to like achieve something other than winning a punch up.
That's the thing, because
I think that's a particular.
Go ahead. MCU. That's the thing. I do feel a lot of MCU films are kind of missing that, where a lot of it just more focused on the action rather than just actually saving people. And the Marvel movies have that for sure. I just feel like that's just like it feels like the central theme in all these DC movies, or most of them at least. I just kind of
that's a really good point. And you saying that makes me think of in the Justice League like final fight scene. There's a point where they're like, "Hey, there's like people that are here, and we need to save them."
Debate. Like one family.
Well, like, okay, I don't think that. I don't think. Let me. Don't get it twisted.
Better example.
I don't think that the Justice League.
Better example. I think in Man of Steel, when he destroys the ship thing. I think that whole scene is shot incredibly well. Of him just about to destroy like the Doomsday device.
Okay, I was like, he destroys a lot of things in that movie.
No, I know, but I think like the Doomsday device, basically. I'd say that's just the emotion I think more superhero films need.
I like that they have Barry Allen go save the Russians. I think that's fun. I think it's cool. Especially since he's like the baby on the team. It's like not really fucking equipped for this.
He shows up to us. Am I here too soon? Are you not enough big? I'll go.
I think we need to talk about Wonder Woman too much because we already had like a full on discussion about 84. But yeah, we think it's all right.
Like it.
Ares sucks. I everyone. That's
the whole big scene of just Chris Pine telling Wonder Woman, you can't just stop the evil. The evil just comes from many shapes and forms. We just have to like just fight eternally for it. Something along those lines, right? I thought that was just a really compelling, unique way to end a superhero film. But then it just moves on to like a CGI superhero fight.
Yeah, she just fights Doomsday.
She just fights some guy.
Zod. It's Doomsday. It's Enchantress or Enchantress's brother.
No, she fights Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely sick of like CGI monster time.
Well, then let's get into Justice League.
Yeah.
So you like this movie? So it's biggot's fan, is what
here's whoa, take it easy.
That's what you said.
Here's the thing. Okay, and this is going to be a funny. I liked how short it was. I liked that it didn't waste my time with a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours long.
I mean, I guess it didn't. It's not incredible. It misses the point. It misses the mark. It misses the mark. Yeah, exactly. It misses the mark a lot. But maybe, and Batman shouldn't be doing this. But when Batman go, I'm rich, I go laugh. I do a little laugh. I think it's a little funny. What's your superhero power? I'm rich.
I'm rich.
Funny. I know he's not Tony Stark, and I get that, and they shouldn't do that anymore. But it was funny.
Okay, listen. This movie. I love every second of it. It is a hilarious and almost profound and like religious experience for me.
No,
I just love seeing just this amalgamation just put together by multiple minds just stitched together. So I guess quick context for those that don't know, because this was going to be Zack Snyder's third film. At least set in DCEU, but midway through production, he had to leave because of a tragic, unfortunate loss in the family. So he left the project, and Warner Brothers decided to get Joss Whedon to finish the film for him, which came with like plentiful recuts and reshoots of Zack Snyder's vision. And so you're essentially just getting a quarter of a movie that's Zack Snyder, and everything else is like ideas from a corporation, essentially.
And they've also, and everything, the stuff Zack did is also like edited and such. So the kind of narrative
Like, I'm sorry, just real quick, because there are shots in the film where you can tell Zack Snyder put a hand in it, but it's so touched up that like it just doesn't have like that same feel of Zack Snyder.
So the narrative around this movie is that Zack Snyder had like this big long vision for Justice League, and then Warner Brothers took it away, and that's why it's bad. I already didn't like his vision, and this is it muddied with also trying to be Avengers. And
That's
absolutely what it is, yeah.
There's like, even just from a wearing fella, it's like, huh? That's not what your Superman is at all.
It believes him, but shit, we need to get this guy to stop.
But they do. They talk about people like missing him, and it's like, oh, the world is worse now that there's no Superman around.
And it's like, first of all, doesn't that make the rest of your heroes look so bad? They needed the boring guy from the other two movies.
There's not a scene all of them together aren't like.
I mean, they kind of.
I'm sorry.
They kind of try and call attention to that. They kind of try and call attention to that, where Batman is like bullying Wonder Woman for missing her dead boyfriend. And he's like, "How come you're not? You could be Superman, but you choose not to be." And it's like that's like, okay, I don't think she would, though. That doesn't sound like what Wonder Woman would do.
And like and it's like, okay, like asshole murderer, rich man.
I'm rich. I bought the bank.
It's you're like, I don't like you because you were the antagonist of the last movie. I like Wonder Woman because she was the protagonist of a good movie that I watched like a couple of months ago. Oh, who the fuck is the cyborg guy? Is he like the guy from the show I watched that I liked as a kid? No, he's just some dude.
Excuse me? Booyah. He says booyah once.
Booyah. Fuck you. Aquaman's just a jerk who doesn't want to be in the movie. And Flash is Ezra Miller and the most annoying creature on the face of the planet.
I guarantee there's several high schools worth of young women who are in love with that Flash.
I know Ezra Miller's banking on it. This dude is. I would watch the worst quips from the MCU 80 trillion times than hear a single line of dialogue from this fucker's mouth.
He says, I wonder how many they put in versus how many he added.
I think every person who wants to talk about the script of Ant-Man and the Wasp should be bound and gagged and forced to watch a compilation of every fucking Flash moment in this movie. It's the worst. First, I can tell you that this is Joss Whedon on autopilot, and I'm not like a Whedon stan, but this dude, I know he can write better than this, and I know he can do better than. So I don't really know who's to blame for the Flash, but he's maybe the worst creature I've ever seen.
He's undeniably a creature.
Also, props to whoever. This was definitely a Zack Snyder thing. Thanks for putting like the Amazons all in like leather bikinis. Like they weren't dressed like that in one room. You can see it because it was, but cool. They're all in like bra and panties now. How weird. Just weird and creepy, and
like there's not a scene.
It's RPG logic. That's their better armor.
It's just not like constantly outclassed by Superman. because all three of them, like
No, they never.
all of them,
not-
could not be Superman when they were working together. When Flash was saving people in Russia, Superman was doing a far better job than him. So it's just why even have a team at this point if Superman's going to outclass at everything you do?
Superman, I don't understand. Maybe I'm like an idiot. I hope not. I don't really fully understand the Superman fight scene where everybody fights Superman.
Well, supposedly, I mean,
bringing
evil
him back.
Superman was
what's-
supposed to be a bigger
like-
part of Zack Snyder's original vision. So, just have him be evil for like 5 minutes just to have some kind of conflict.
Wow.
Evil
Evil
Superman.
Superman. How
Snyder
interesting.
Surely he still wanted to have like epic Superman comes in at the end and beats up Steppenwolf. Like, I can't imagine that the original plot was just like they bring back Superman, but now he's
Awesome.
evil.
Like, there's like
Well,
no build up
that
to
sucks.
to
Let's go
Superman
fight
showing
Steppenwolf.
up at the final fight. It just I believe in justice. It just constantly floats in.
Well, Lois Lane out here existing shows up to
Yeah.
Superman's farm on Mars and asks him, aren't you going to be Superman? And he's like, oh,
Maybe.
yeah. Henry Evil.
Henry Cavill is Superman.
And it's like, man,
Awesome. Awesome movie. I love
it's the. So, are you guys looking forward to the Snyder Cut?
Yes,
Yes.
but like morbid. I suspect that Scott Flake will like the Snyder Cut less. Than,
I
than what we have
almost
now.
feel the same way. It's not.
I have so much ill will towards the Snyder Cut and like the cult of jerks that made it happen. Like, on one hand, like, good for Zack Snyder. Cool. I don't like your vision, but you do it. You
I
know?
definitely think the him stripped from it was kind of,
But-
it was kind of dickish as well, though.
like I believe you should be able to make your movie. I don't think it's good. I don't think it needs to be 6 hours. And your dark side looks like Shrek.
I mean, I was just an early look. It might look better. We'll see. Probably not, but we'll see.
Nothing about the Snyder Cut is an early look. It's a 2017 movie.
I guess.
The Snyder Cut.
Aquaman.
Shazam. Is Shazam the next one? What came out after Justice League? Aquaman. That's the one I have.
I feel like we're kind of like we've kind of passed like the first era of them. Now we're kind of in the part where it's like the next 4 movies, Wonder Woman 84 included, kind of just gave up on the whole Justice League thing, because it's like it's clear from Man of Steel to Justice League they were pretty much like, we have a roadmap. We're in for a penny, in for a pound. This is all going to lead up to this big Dark Side movie, and then Justice League, and then like everything with like BVS through Justice League was a disaster. And it seems like they've kind of just abandoned their like idea of like they've abandoned trying to make an Avengers, it feels, and they're just like, well, here are our movies about superheroes that are
Can I say
ostensibly in
something?
the same universe.
It just like
I'm
I
okay
just
with
don't feel any sense of like connectivity
I don't really need
between like the early films and say Shazam. Does someone who brands rapists and have them killed in prison, is that in the same universe as Shazam or Birds of Prey?
I always forget about Shazam. I always forget. Whenever I'm thinking of like, what are the DCEU movies? I always forget about Shazam because it's so disconnected. I don't even remember like alluding to other things.
Superman, like they talk about Superman a few times in that movie, and then Superman shows up, but it's not Henry Cavill. It's just some dude in a suit.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
like a blue arm.
and it's like cool, fine. I don't care if you want if like in a few years if you want to make a Justice League movie and Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Shazam and like fucking Harley Quinn all show up. Cool. Neat. I won't ask. How is this the same Wonder Woman that was in Justice League and Batman? I don't care. I don't care. We can just have fun movies. And that's kind of like how I feel about like the Aquaman, Shazam, and Birds of Prey. They're all just like they're
all we really get is fun superhero movies. I just want something that matters.
Is it like
I want something to just have a point.
like they do, but does it need to have a point? Like, does it need to be a part of some big like expansive universe to matter?
I mean, it's something. It's just like I don't know. I just feel it just. I just don't like the whole disconnect thing with just DC. Just so weird to me.
I would.
I don't know. It just.
I think I personally would prefer to have individual self-contained films that are about a specific thing than several interconnected films that are about something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So
because like with MCU films, I can obviously the directors have their own vision, and they put in their own sense of like personality to them, but you can still tell that like something like Guardians of the Galaxy and like Winter Soldier, you can still tell those are like set in the same universe, right? But I just can't feel that with all the DC movies just they're pumping out.
But it's like, to me, like, I don't want big sections of my movie. I don't want, like, we know that the stuff like BVS, the Desert Batman stuff, that's a direct like that was supposed to be like a scene in Justice League Part 2. We know that.
Yeah.
Well, there is no Justice League Part 2. But there is Batman versus Superman. And now Batman versus Superman forever has a scene directly meant to allude to a movie that we're never going to get. And like, to me, I much prefer like Shazam, which is just a good kids movie that has a good theme about like adopted families. And that
Sans is in it.
Sans is in
They
it.
put Sans in it.
Yeah, Sans. It has Mark Strong.
Like Aquaman is just a movie about Aquaman and him like out taking up responsibility and hanging out with Amber Heard because that's a great idea. And like, and it's like, I prefer that to even like take the MCU thing, the Thor pit from Age of Ultron. Do you remember that?
Oh my god, I forgot about
I'll
the
be
Thor
honest, I
pit.
don't remember the Thor pit.
Yes. Well, guess what? If you ever rewatch Age of Ultron, that Thor pit scene is always going to be there. And it's never going to get better. So I would much rather prefer like that's why most of these MCU movies, their like progression, the whole thing leading up to Infinity, that was mostly just post-credit stuff that doesn't matter. Like sometimes it's in the proper movie, but most of the time it was like, meh, we're like vaguely going there. Well, like Batman versus Superman is about leading to Justice League.
Right.
More so than like developing Superman. Like, and the same thing with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman isn't really about leading to Justice League. It's just about Wonder Woman, and that's why she's like the only character you care about in Justice League. Because like they took the time to just make a movie about her, and then hey, she can show up in Justice League. Same thing. I'm gonna care more about Aquaman whenever I see him again, because it's like, well, I know this movie about Aquaman, and it's all, and I know like his deal, and I know his struggle, and I could kind of relate with it, kinda. I'm not even the biggest fan of Aquaman, but I think it's like it's a superior direction for the DC universe to be going in.
It's sort of an interesting. This is a problem, and I don't think this is a real problem. This was just a perceived problem, where when Infinity War came out, I had seen the first Captain America and I had seen Black Panther, and that was all I had seen. And everybody was going apeshit talking about Infinity War, and I wanted to see it, but I felt like I could not watch that movie until I had seen every other movie. And I know that is not like, that movie is written in a way that you don't.
Yeah.
But I felt compelled to, and it's sort of a similar problem I actually run into with like actual comics sometimes, where I feel I'm intimidated, and sort of scared away from like reading this, because I feel like I need to have some existing understanding of it in order to fully like appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you brought this up earlier, when you read a comic about Superman dying, that has weight because it's Superman. You know who Superman is.
Exactly.
When the movie does it, there's no attachment to him. And so almost in a weird way, I feel like the disjointed disconnectedness of the intentionally connected DCEU makes me feel more willing to just jump in and watch one than I am with like a Marvel movie. Especially the newer
I can
ones.
see that. Yeah. Because
like Birds of Prey, I was concerned not having seen Suicide Squad, but I watched Suicide Squad, I've seen Birds of Prey. There's no connection at all.
No.
Harley Quinn's there, that's it.
Harley Quinn is two different characters in those
Yeah.
movies.
And in one of them she's good, and in one of them, God, shut up.
and it allows you to like take stuff that like the less connectedness of these movies means that you can just rip like the best. Like, here's the thing: I love interconnected comic book universe. There's so much dumb shit in them. I can look at a ton of the comics I have, and I can point out all the times where someone's acting completely out of character, or they change a character to act in a certain way, and it just sucks. But the thing is, I don't need to stop. Like, I don't want to ever read Jeff Johns writing Wonder Woman. Every time he does it, he fucks her up in some way. But guess what? When Greg Rucka starts writing Wonder Woman, it's still good. And it doesn't like ruin the character. And they don't have to like, and because comic book continuity is kind of like this loose thing, it doesn't like you can take the stuff that works, and you can leave behind the stuff that's bad. It's also the same reason like why Defenders doesn't work. It's because they were like, Defenders, we have all these Netflix shows we're going to make. Let's base everything in the Iron Fist lore. Iron Fist happened. I guess our entire like lead crossover is based on the one show that people didn't like. Like, and that's why I think like this like the last 4 DC movies are like encouraging, and I'm actually excited for the Suicide Squad and Black Adam, and I'm not excited for. I don't like Ezra Miller. If there's something you can glean from this podcast, is I don't like Ezra Miller. The new Shazam movie. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, what do you guys think about like the rest of the DC like new era? Or any final thoughts about it?
I think generally speaking, I agree. I like the movies generally speaking more. Like, even though I like Justice League, I like Birds of Prey more. I like Wonder Woman 84 more. I like Shazam more. You know what I mean? Like, they do something better for me. And yeah, I think you're right. I am actually sort of excited for upcoming movies that I haven't been in the past. I wasn't really hyped for Justice League. That's why I waited until now to see it.
Yeah.
I think while I will still classify myself as a disgusting Snyder protector or defender, I think at this point, even though I was not a huge Wonder Woman 84, I'm still looking forward to kind of the future of just DC because Aquaman is my favorite DC movie.
Mhm.
I enjoyed Birds of Prey, and so I was because I mean even Birds of Prey is doing something different than the typical just Marvel Snyder formula, where it does feel like its own thing, and I liked it for that.
Mhm.
And so they can still put in their own because the directors seem to be having a lot of creative freedom with all these DC movies.
James Gunn, The Suicide Squad, looks so fun. That movie was
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah, DC just needs to make more movies like that.
Yeah. I guess. Oh, okay. Since we're on the topic, this is brief. Something I like about Birds of Prey in comparison to like Justice League, for example, is it doesn't really feel like it's in a rush to get the gang together.
No.
They
No.
don't get together until like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't happen until the climax.
It lets them all exist, and it's same with Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad has this problem too. It lets them all exist and be individuals, and like they come together naturally instead of Batman is coming over
What if
and
Superman
he says, "Please help."
lifted the roof off the Pentagon, and took the president? That's why we need Deadshot to shoot a bullet through the body.
That's why we need
You
guy
can shoot,
with
you
a
can
skin
shoot
condition.
that bullet.
El Diablo will set him on fire and burn the president alive. Not Superman though.
El Diablo really is like the only. There's two people with powers on that team: Enchantress, who goes evil, and Diablo, who doesn't fight.
He's dead.
Yeah, he died. That's so true.
Marvel does punch
Well,
Superman.
Katana traps the souls of her enemies. I wouldn't recommend getting
This is Katana. She has a sword. Don't get cut by her. She traps her soul. Also, her husband died. He got cut by the sword, so she talks to the sword. Got it? Good. Okay.
Let's go. You don't have much time.
I'll piss her off.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Luke,
Rick Flag.
Aquaman is your favorite. Dre, what is your favorite?
Probably Birds of Prey.
I think I agree with you. I think Birds of Prey is also my favorite. However, for the sake of being interesting, I'm going to say Wonder Woman 84 is my favorite. Because I think that is interesting. And I still really like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long one.
Yeah, we've gone for a long time. I think we've exhausted all possible topics. Actually, I don't think we have, but we have for now.
Yeah.
So in any case, thanks for tuning in. I hope that you're also looking forward to funny movies, or serious movies, or maybe just good ones. Wahoo!
Woo. Yeah. Woo.
Catch you next time.